Hey, what is up YouTube? Kolst here. I'm here to make this video as my washing machine is on. Unfortunately, it's making a bunch of noise, but we are going to talk about some patch notes because I don't cover every patch notes that happen, largely because I cover mostly arena stuff and there are not very often arena changes. But this is a big exception because dual class arena is coming back to Hearthstone. It actually is back because this patch is already out, so you may have noticed your client updated if you're touching the game. But anyway, I'm gonna go over, I think, generally some of the patch notes like towards the end of this video. I will mention that they did announce the new expansion, Showdown in the Badlands, if you didn't see the leak yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever that was. But yeah, so that is announced. They're going to add Ungoro to Twist. There's going to be some balance changes involved with that as well, buffing up a bunch of the Ungoro cards. But first, beyond that, let's just start talking about the arena changes because it is, of course, as I mentioned, dual class arena is back. So that means, if you're not aware, you can pick one class as your main class, your portrait class, and then you get another class, which is the hero power class. You get the combined set of both of those classes cards, as well as neutral cards, of course, as well. And they do mention it is a new rotation. If you had an arena run open, sorry to let you know that it closed automatically. I don't know why they never like to announce this stuff ahead of time, but they I don't know, they don't like people being able to know that, but for some reason. But it is a rotation supposedly, but all the cards are the same. The only change is that now you're going to have dual classes available. So that is that. I'll probably make a more thorough video. I don't know if I'll make it into a full guide or just talking more about the balance, as we don't know if balance is going to be changing as part of this. But of course we know that, I mean, the big thing is that, you know, with dual class there are a lot of balance considerations. I do talk about this a lot more in depth in this video. Like, I've had a couple of these actually dual class arena guides. One was 3 years ago, so probably 2020. One was 2021, almost 2 years ago at this point. I go a lot more into depth there if you're interested in that, but I will just talk very closely about just like how the balance looks right now. So we don't know if this could completely change. We don't know if they're doing some kind of balance adjustments with this patch as well. Oftentimes they don't, but you never know really. Blizzard's really kind of random with that sometimes. But if we make the assumption that things are how they are now, the balance is going to be very similar because the game was in a very imbalanced state, and you had classes that are like Death Knight and Mage at the top. And traditionally, the way you want to draft or pick your classes specifically in dual class is picking classes that have good hero powers, like Death Knight and Mage do second. So that is going to be a big thing. It is still going to be very likely a Death Knight and Mage meta. So that's the very first important thing. And it's going to be an interesting choice, actually, if you get offered Death Knight or Mage first, because you really would prefer to have them second instead of first. And particularly Death Knight is probably not going to function particularly well without his hero powers. You're not going to have the ability to generate nearly as many corpses. And as well, like, also worth mentioning that other classes like Druid and Demon Hunter off the top of my head, I'm not sure. There's some other synergies with other classes, like Paladin with like hero power synergy too, and even Shaman, I guess, as well. Certain classes aren't going to interact as well without their hero power. But I think Death Knight is the big one, and yeah, Demon Hunter and Druid are going to be pretty significant as well. And the other side of that coin is, of course, you know, if you have a class like Shaman, usually isn't a great hero power, Paladin's not, Warrior's usually not considered great. These are the classes that have really good class cards, and they're succeeding almost in spite of their hero powers, right? That's what you really want to do. You get like a Shaman Death Knight, Shaman with Death Knight hero power, a Shaman with Mage hero power. These are very likely to be the best combinations. But again, I'll probably be making a guide or a balance update video in the next day or two, and we'll see. It's also very likely that they do a hotfix. If they are going to do one, they might just not. But if they do one, it might be like later this week, so then the balance might change then. But I'll try to do my best to keep you guys updated as well. It's going to be a very busy week for me because TwitchCon is also this weekend, and I will be trying to stream over that as well, because another thing I can announce here, I'll probably make it into another video actually. I forgot to mention this, but they are also doing Community Day, I do believe. Yeah, so that's going to be a day which is also directly overlapping with TwitchCon, but basically there's going to be a 24-hour window from, if you're in Pacific time, this is Saturday to Sunday, 9 a.m. to 9 a.m., that you will get a whole bunch of drops for watching any Hearthstone stream. So I will definitely do my best to try to stream during that time, even though I'm also going to be at TwitchCon. Unfortunately, I live like very close to where TwitchCon is, so that'll be at least like possible for me. But yeah, that's going to be a thing. But with that, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to mention for dual class, at least, right? So I'll go over a little bit of the rest of these patch notes here. Mass pack opening is here live now, so you can do that. There's a couple of pretty significant bug fixes I noticed as well, by the way. They redid the tutorial, that's nice. Some of these actually affect gameplay, like Rolling Fireball and Lurker Blow no longer skip over Dormant. That's going to be a thing. You don't really have this stuff in Arena right now, but sometime in the future that's going to be very significant. But otherwise, the other big thing I should mention as well, there's going to be an in-game event, by the way, for free stuff. There's a lot of battlegrounds changes with this patch as well. But I think the other new anomalies and stuff, the twist update I mentioned before, there's a new login card, by the way, for to celebrate the new expansion, which is now pre-orderable. There's also more stuff you can buy about BlizzCon stuff, yada, yada, yada. But the last thing, maybe one of the more important things as well, definitely more important, is the actual card changes. So because it's being added to Twist, and they've been doing this with a lot of these older wild sets, they are essentially power creeping these cards to, modernize them in a sense. So I don't think I'll go over like every single one of these individually, as there is a lot of them, but a lot of these are just incremental changes. For example, we'll just like look through all of Druid, like Verdant Longneck was a 5-mana 5/4 with Battlecry Adapt. Now it's just gaining additional health stat. Now it's a 5/5. It was already a pretty good card. Evolving Spores is getting a mana cheaper. Giant Ant Conjurer is getting Taunt. Jungle Giants. Isn't that the quest? I think that's the quest. Now I guess they made it easier to complete. And Tyrantus is getting +2/+2 and Taunt. So it's a 10-mana 14/14 with Taunt and Untargetable. Good luck getting through that in Arena. But yeah, otherwise, like as I mentioned, I don't think I want to go through all of these individually, but like just for example, like Grievous Bite is now like a really good swipe. That's pretty crazy. Well, they buffed that. That's interesting. But yeah, a lot of these again are just like incremental changes, things getting a little bit cheaper. So if Ungoro ever comes into Arena, which it's a set they do like, I would expect it'll come back pretty soon. It's one thing they used to have. Yeah, some of these cards are pretty crazy. Pyros is getting really significant, but all these mage ones are insane. Shimmering Tempest this was a 2/1 with Death Rattle at a random spell. Now it's 2/2 with the Battlecry. Meteor is now like completely insane. This thing does 23 damage for 6 mana. That's kind of hilarious. You can never really do that efficiently, but yeah. Now you can silence and still kill a Tyrantus, so that's a thing, I guess. Dino Size is 7 mana, 7/14. Oh my gosh. Vine Cleaver is 6 mana. Adaptation is free. Yeah, so some of these are like pretty significant changes, right? Some of them are incremental, not really going to make that big of a difference, but yeah, these will be things. Wow, Razor Pel's still 2, that's pretty crazy. As well, Volcano only overloads 1. Calamos is mana cheaper, yeah, so just, overall, pretty crazy cards. I'll go over a bit more the neutrals, I guess, while I might as well. King Mosh got 2 mana cheaper. That's a little crazy. But yeah, Sated Threshodon now has Taunt and additional health, so that's really strong. Gastropod, the Poison Taunt, now is a 1/3, so that's just a really good curve card. Fireplume Phoenix now deals 3. Giant Mastodon gained 2 health. Bottle Elemental gained 2 attack. Primal Fan Lookout is now a 2 mana 3/2, so you'll actually just draft that, like, pretty easily now. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, otherwise a bunch of these elementals just gaining some stats. Frozen Crusher is now a 5 mana 8/8. That's pretty crazy. Volcanosaur is really cheap. Emerald Hive Queen is now actually super overstated. Blaze Caller is still, that's a 6 mana 6/6, right? That deals 5 damage. Breadhead Scout is now really good because that's a 3 mana 3/4. Charged Devilsaur is 7 mana 8/8 charge. That could be crazy. Osrook starts out as an 8/8 and it grows from there. That's pretty crazy. And Elise, which could actually happen if your deck continues on duplicates, you just draw the Engorged pack automatically. That's also pretty crazy. So yeah. Anyway, there's a whole lot of crazy changes here with this, but yeah, anyway. In that case, I guess I will keep this video to that. Don't want to make this too long. I'll just scroll over some of these changes for battlegrounds while I'm closing out this video. But with that, yeah, I will, again, I'm not sure whether I'll be streaming on Twitch or YouTube first. I will try to get a dual class run up on YouTube one way or the other as soon as possible. I don't really want to do it right now. I'm a little busy. I'm gonna be sleeping relatively soon probably, so I will probably do it tonight. I'll be playing some like tonight for sure, but it might be on Twitch. We will see. I have a video that I'm actually uploading to YouTube as I'm recording this video right now as well, so that'll be there soon as well. But with that, anyway, really appreciate everyone hanging out for this video, and we will see you in the next one. Have fun in Dual Class Arena. Bye bye.